Hare Krishna, Haribol. Welcome to this one-take video that I'm posting on my channel. Today I decided to speak from one book entitled Camatkar Chandrika, a moonbeam of sheer astonishment. The author is Vishvanatha Cakravarti Thakura. Vishvanatha Cakravarti Thakura is recognized as the most Rasika devotee, Rasikacharya, some they call him. So if you don't know this word rasa is God's specific meaning that it has been used by devotees, acharyas, when they write their literature. And it's quite common amongst the devotees because word rasa denotes a certain moment that happens. For example, somebody finds beautiful flower, and then there's this moment when you look at the flower and say, this flower is beautiful, this flower smells very nice. So this moment is rasa. So then devotees, they bring this rasa from spiritual world, these moments, and then we see what's happening there, the lila, the pastime of Krishna, gopis, Radharani, and many other devotees in the spiritual world. Those descriptions, and this whole drama, this whole activity that is going on, for us this is a moment that happens, and when we hear about it, when we see it written, then we think about it and we say, oh, this is a moment, and it's like relishable for us, just like flower is relishable. Because flower is beautiful, flower smells nice, is a beautiful gift of nature. Yes, a gift that's coming from spiritual world has to be relished also. Yes. Word rasa has also been used in, it is when we trace the use of the word, and we can see scholars, they talk about word rasa was used in theater, because when there is performance, then those who create the performance, writers and directors, they think of what the audience is going to experience while watching, which genre is going to be. Are they going to be laughing? Are they going to be sad? Are they going to be feeling compassionate, empathic with the main character, and so on? So this is a little bit about rasa. There's many different things we can feel about the activities of Krishna and his devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam is one scripture. There's so many different stories there. We have horror, we have disgust, we have comedy, we have so many different things. When Krishna comes into arena, in the assembly of all the whole citizens of Mathura, they come, and because Kamsa organized this big festival to lure Krishna and Balaram and to kill them. But what happens is that just the opposite thing. The plan didn't work, obviously. We know that much about Krishna and his arrival to Mathura from Braja, from Vrindavan. So what happened was, when he entered, everyone saw him differently. Priestly order, Brahmins, they saw him very effulgent as Paramatma, as the all-pervasive personality of Godhead. Gopis, young gopis, they saw him as lover. Then older older Brajvasis, they saw him as their son, and then everyone, they had their special relationship with Krishna. So they experienced him differently. So that's why Krishna is called Rasa Raja. First of all, his capacity to give pleasure to everyone, that is one thing to consider. He is the only person who can give pleasure to anyone and everyone. He can give this moment, this satisfaction. And there is what the variety that explains also what the great variety of rasa is there in him. So as he's enjoying himself those moments, he also gives the enjoyment. That's why he's Rama, a reservoir of pleasure. So this is a few words about rasa. There's also one term, Adi rasa. Adi rasa is the original rasa from which rasa all other rasas come. And then that rasa comes from Radha and Krishna and is extracted from the pastimes that come from that Adi rasa. So why do we even bother? This is so elevated for us. We bother to hear and read about these things from authoritative source, which I don't claim I am, but I'm trying to present things as I see them written by the authoritative source. We bother because scriptures say that by hearing and chanting about Adi Rasa, about transcendental spiritual rasa, which is eternally enjoyed by every single soul and every single personality, and Krishna himself constantly in spiritual world. So the point is that when we hear and when we are in contact with these moments, these relishable moments from scripture, from writings of acharyas, when we are in contact with them, then our heart becomes purified. The knot in the heart becomes cut to pieces. The knot in the heart is the cause of many, many problems. So, internal and external problems. Yes. So when we solve something, some problem that is inside of us, then also we solve problems outside of us. And Krishna begins inside. In Sanskrit they're called anarthas. Those things that are inside that we may know or not know, but if we would know for sure, we would definitely not want. Through this purification, through hearing and chanting, then we get the qualification and taste for this transcendental spiritual rasa, and get very selective about material rasa, mundane rasa that is found in this world. They're both called rasas because they work on the same principle. There's something that everyone is striving for. The only difference is that in spiritual world, there is no gap between one rasa and the other rasa. It just goes continuously, more and more, ecstatically continuous. In material world, then we strive for a moment and then it goes away. We have a connection with a person and then that connection goes away, and so on. And there may be some specific moment. One evening, a few friends sit together and they discuss, oh, do you remember how it was at that time? And then everyone lights up, their eyes open. Yes. They have this moment. But that then goes away. Yes. But in spiritual rasa is like that. Those who live in spiritual world, then they experience it constantly. There is no obstacle to it. There's no obstacles to it. It's uninterrupted. Uninterrupted means that it never ends. Never, not even in death. We say soul is eternal, but also the capacity of the soul, which is to experience this rasa. This rasa can be experienced with the body, which is mundane rasa, or can be experienced on spiritual level as well. But that is different type. So we're talking about two different types of rasa. I spent a little time discussing rasa just so we know. So now let's go into this particular moment that Vishvanatha Cakravarti Thakura describes in Camatkar Chandrika, a moonbeam of sheer astonishment, was the title of a book. So this book has 4 chapters, and naturally I'm gonna take first chapter, and I'm gonna, in my own way, I'm gonna explain what is written here. Actually, if you actually know the story, then you'll know that I'm not going to begin from where the story begins, the narration in the actual book begins. To make it a little bit more interesting, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. So at one point in this narration by Vishvanatha Cakravarti Thakura, Srimati Radharani and her best friend and constant companion Lalita, they're in Radharani's chambers. Radharani and Lalita, they're both princesses. And there's a lot of their friends, their equals with them. And they're relaxing. And some they're chatting, some they're lying and resting, some they're doing something, and some they're putting makeup. They're doing different things that women they do. So on one point, Radharani is saying to Lalita, my left side is twitching. My left eye is twitching. My left shoulder is twitching. My left hip is twitching. And Lalita says, oh, this is very good omen. And Radharani said, how can there be any good omen? How can any good thing happen if I'm trapped in this prison of Jatila's and Abhimanyu's house? We see here Radharani's emotion toward her situation. She did not like that house. And Lalita said, we don't know what kind of good things is going to come, but this is very good omen. And then someone knocks on the door. And Jatila and Abhimanyu come in. And they say, Yashoda, the very virtuous wife of Nanda Maharaj, she has sent you a big box full of ornaments, clothes, and different spices and sandalwood and different things. And she's sending you a message. She says that you're beloved of everyone, O Radharani, and you have all good qualities. Good qualities, they come to take your shelter. And now they are great. An ordinary girl is like this. Good qualities come and make the girl good. But in your case, Radharani, good qualities come and you make them great. Now, I am sending you a lot of ornaments and a lot of things to adorn your body. Now, please wear them and enjoy them. And then Jatila Abhimanyu, they give this message. And they put the box. Abhimanyu, Jatila says, "Oh, this is too heavy for us. Put this box in front of the room, in front of the bed in the room." This was Radharani's bedroom, private. And now Lalita says, "Let's see what kind of ornaments you're getting." And Radharani, she's looking at the box. She says, "I'm looking at this box and I feel ecstatic. Something is happening." And then Lalita, she responds, she says, "We'll see what kind of manohar this is." Because manohar means two things. Manohar means some bejeweled ornaments, or it may mean Krishna, who is enchanting Krishna. So double meaning. In Sanskrit, sometimes in writings of Vishvanatha Cakravarti Thakura, we can find double meanings, and then they're explained what could they mean. So Lalita wanted to hide the assumption, or her intuition was telling her that, we are all ecstatic just by seeing the box. It might have something to do with manohar. So now the left side of Radharani is twitching, which is good omen. Everyone is looking at the box, and Jatila and Abhimanyu, they leave. And now Lalita, she's always a little bit suspicious of Krishna's activities. So then she gives this remark: "What kind of manohar are we talking about here?" And then they open the box, and guess what happens? It is the other manohar, Manohar Krishna. He stood up in front of the gopis, and he feels fully satisfied in his own prestige, exhibiting majestic motions of such a mild and soft, gently manner. He kisses all of the gopis' faces simultaneously. Well, he kissed all of their faces simultaneously. That's pretty intense moment. If you go back to the introductory words, then how amazing the moment is this. Krishna stood up, and then he kissed in his full splendor. He looked amazing. He looked peaceful and self-satisfied and completely in control of everything. And then he kissed every gopi in the room simultaneously on their face. When we're talking about moments and what's to relish, this is something that we can relish. The incredible moment. So we can imagine Gopi's response to this. They start clapping, making different exclaims, and some of them, they were like completely unprepared. They were lying, napping, or half napping a little bit, and then they open their eyes. What's going on? Oh, I'm not dressed nicely. It was really private chamber of Radharani. It was her bedroom. It wasn't, it was normal not to be ready for public appearances, and now this suddenly became a public appearance when Krishna appeared. Now Krishna is there. And some gopis are a little confused. Some, they're like clapping their hands and they're laughing, and different responses happen here. And then Vishvanatha Cakravarti Thakura says that crocodile like Cupid attacks limbs of gopis being unprepared. So at the same time they're unprepared and they become nervous because now Krishna is there, and what they do all day is think of Krishna, how they will be close to him in a romantic way. So now he's there, and they didn't even expect to have a romantic exchange with him. Yet still, his presence, they become intoxicated by his presence. Then Lalita exclaims, "Oh, what a decoration! Now, Radharani, you should adorn yourself with this decoration. Now 3 superiors have told you to do that. Mother Yashoda, she said you should decorate yourself adorn yourself with the decorations being sent by Mother Yashoda. Apparently now this is what she sent. And now Jatila and Abhimanyu, they said the same thing. They were repeating what Yashoda said. So Lalita said, well, she was positive. She said, adorn now yourself with this ornament. But Radharani, she responded shyly, and she was like a little thoughtful for a moment. She was thinking, something isn't right here. I won't just go for it. And then she said, Krishna, what have you done? You have stolen all the gifts that were sent to me by your mother, and now you're attempting to make every woman in the world ruin their reputation of chaste women. And now Radharani, she accused him. And Krishna says, no. That is not what is happening here. So now suddenly we have a conflict. Now the conflict, the source is, how come that Krishna is in the box and not the ornaments? Everyone believed that there are some things inside, but in fact, Krishna popped out of the box. So now there is a conflict now. Radharani, she claims that Krishna devised this plan to hurt the girls, to steal what Yashoda has prepared, and to ruin their reputation on purpose, to cause problems. The Bauchi. So she accuses him of this, and he said, no, this is not what happened. So now, conflict is here, and 2 different scenarios are possible. Now I'm going to talk about first scenario, Radharani's scenario, and then I'm going to speak about Krishna's scenario. Does it matter which one comes first? Anyways, I already said Radharani's. Okay, so Radharani's scenario. Krishna is playing in the house, And he sees Yashoda, his mother. She keeps big box, wooden box, a beautifully, what the word is. Anyways, it looks beautiful, painted beautifully, and now she's putting so many things in. And he's asking her, who are you preparing this for? Why are you packing? Are you packing this for myself and for Balaram? And she says, mind your own business, go play. She was focused, and she wanted Krishna to go and play. And then, well, will you tell me? And then he started demanding, I'm not going anywhere if you don't tell me. Why are you packing so many nice things into this beautiful box? Krishna can behave like that sometimes. So Yashoda, oh, okay, I will tell you. There is this girl. And she's got great qualities. She's been very kind. And I love her like my own daughter. And she tells about her Radharani's great qualities. And then Krishna says, who is this girl? And Yashoda says, Radharani. And then Krishna, he becomes a little ecstatic. Because right now he's seeing different scenarios, how he could take this advantage and meet Radharani. How could take advantage of this situation. So he's looking and he covers his ecstatic symptoms and he turns away a little bit so that Mother Yashoda is not gonna recognize that he's getting ecstatic. So he's acting as if he doesn't know who Radharani is. This pastime took place in Gokul before they moved to Vrindavan. So Krishna must have been quite young at that point. The age of Krishna does not correlate with the age of present day. So at 5, Krishna was already big enough to be able to take care of big cows. So, and he was able to go independently into the forest to herd cows at the Govardhan Hill. So that was at 5 years old. So they were living in Gokul. And then at that point when they're talking, Yashoda and Krishna, about Radharani, there is Lavanga Latika comes in and she says, 2 goldsmiths arrived that Yashoda has called like before. And now they're outside. And Yashoda said, okay, I am coming. And there was also a friend there, Dhanishta. And Yashoda said, you look after Krishna. I'm going outside. And then at the point when the Dhanishta was there, then Krishna, some boys came in, Subal. And they removed all the paraphernalia from the box, and Krishna went in. And they gave all the stuff to Dhanishta. And then just as that happened, Yashoda came back in. And Abhimanyu was also there outside talking with Nanda Maharaj. So when Yashoda returned, Abhimanyu, husband of Radharani, he then takes the message from Yashoda, and he picks up the box, and he carries the box on his head. While he's doing that, he's very ecstatic. And Krishna, he is grimacing, like he managed to accomplish something. He is satisfied with himself that he managed to be carried incognito to Radharani's place. So Abhimanyu, he is not feeling any fatigue, and he's thinking to himself, today I have really become rich. I have now become successful and fortunate. Judging by the weight of this box, I can just imagine how many heaps of pure gold must be packed inside. With all this wealth, I will purchase millions of cows. Thus, just like my friend Govardhan Mala, apparently Govardhan Mala is Abhimanyu's friend, I will have the goddess of fortune fixed permanently in my very own home. So this is still Radharani's version. There's quite some detail what's happening in this Radharani's version. So now Krishna has planned all this, and now Abhimanyu comes, he's ecstatic. He doesn't even know why. He's thinking, I'm gonna get rich, but in fact he doesn't feel fatigued at all. He puts down the box. He's bragging to his mother Jatila how he's now rich, and that there is a message from Yashoda in this box full of ornaments for Radharani, because Radharani is so special. So Jatila, oh, I am sure that now Radharani will be very pleased with Abhimanyu. So let's take the box into Radharani's room. Okay, so now the box is in Radharani's room. Jatila and Abhimanyu leave, and we know what happened. Now Krishna says, no, that's not what happened. Now this is Krishna's perspective. Krishna says, I'm going to tell you what is the truth now. The truth is, I was playing around the house. I had no idea what this box means. But I liked the smell of this box. So I opened up the box. I gave everything that was inside to Dhanishta. So she's going to bring to the proper recipient all that was inside. But I wanted to be in that box because that box smelled sandalwood smell. Sandalwood smells very nice. So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to go in the box to get some of that smell on my own body. So when I was playing like this, completely unaware of what you are saying, your husband Abhimanyu came and he put me on his head and he carried me here. And I wasn't very happy when I was there. I was afraid that I'm going to fall down and then I'm going to hurt. It was very terrible to be in that box. So this is the truth. Now, Krishna continues. He said, we should investigate. We should investigate if this is true. And we should decide, we should think about what the truth is. And if Radharani is at fault, I will punish her justly. I promise. And if I'm at fault, he says, I'm going to stay here for 3 days. And I'm going to be willingly tied by the robes of your arms. So now you think about it. And then you decide what is the truth. And in this way, the story ends. It ends like this. Vishvanatha Cakravarti Thakura does not tell us who they believed. We can assume. We can assume that they chose Krishna's they accepted Krishna's version. So actually, that they accepted Radharani's version so that they could hug Krishna. That's what I tried to say. Yeah. So they definitely agreed Krishna is at fault. It doesn't say in the scripture, but we can assume that they said, Krishna, it's definitely you who is at fault. Radharani is telling the truth. So now we're going to bind you with our arms for 3 days, enjoying one moment after the other without any pause. So thank you for staying. This is the conclusion. Krishna's pastimes are special, and they have a lot of material to be relished. There is one devotee, he's dedicated Srimad Bhagavatam reader, and they ask him, what is your secret? How have you developed the taste for Srimad Bhagavatam, for studying of Srimad Bhagavatam? And he said, I do not study Srimad Bhagavatam, I relish Srimad Bhagavatam.